There goes baby dog. He saw something. Anyway, I surpassed the 10-minute limit for YouTube, so anyway, I have no idea where it got cut off and where I need to pick back up. What I was talking about was how Satan showed Eve the, oh, how cool. A huge flock of geese just flew over. That's so beautiful. This is why I love coming outside and just being outside and just seeing everything. It's so cool. Anyway, Satan being serpent form had already said, for God knows that in the day you eat of this fruit, your eyes will be open and you will be like God, knowing the difference between good and evil and blessing and calamity. And when the woman saw that the tree was good and suitable and pleasant for food, and that it was delightful to look at, and a tree to be desired in order to make one wise, she took of its fruit and ate. And then she gave some also to her husband, and he ate. And then we all know from there the story goes downhill. They both get into huge trouble, big, major trouble. But I guess what I'm thinking about this morning when I was lying in bed before I got up to come down to do this is that, God created Adam first, then he created woman, and when he created them, they were already made for each other. They were already man and wife, which shows how important marriage is to God. And he had told them back in Genesis 2 that there was a tree of life, and then there was the tree of knowledge, the difference between good and evil and blessing and calamity, and that they weren't supposed to eat from the tree of knowledge. I don't think in my heart of hearts, and I'm sure maybe somebody will tag me and shoot off maybe saying I'm wrong, but in my heart of hearts, I don't think it was that God didn't want them to be like him, to understand good and evil and blessing and calamity, because God had made them perfect. Everything that they had in their garden was beautiful, and they had complete communion with God. And for me, I think about this and I think, geez, had they not eaten of the fruit, I wouldn't have so much calamity in my life. Wouldn't have so much good with the bad. I think God just wanted to spare man and woman, his first man and woman that he made, from pain. Because having that kind of knowledge that God had, that was in this, tree that Eve took the apple and ate it, and from there they became cursed. But God gave them provision immediately through Jesus coming. But to go back to my original thought, I just think God just didn't want us as human beings to have to go through so much hardship. God, I think at the time when he made this and created this garden, even with this tree that had all of this knowledge and wisdom in it, that he just wanted us to be able to exist in his perfection, and in that perfection would have come so much more wisdom than we even comprehend today. I think that we obviously never would have had calamity and evil and sicknesses and diseases. We just would have had a good and perfect life. And ever since this moment, man has done nothing but struggle to find the perfect wisdom of the divine, and to have great communion with God on a daily basis, the way Adam and Eve did, just being able to walk with God and talk with God about everything and anything. Because, before Adam and Eve did this, God would come and walk in the garden and talk to them. And to sum it all up, I think that yeah, Adam and Eve did this and they severely screwed up, but God provided a way immediately through Jesus. But I think that it was a command given to keep us from having pain. Physical pain, mental pain, the anguish of being separated from our Creator, from our divinity, because they had all of it. It's like human beings started off with that perfection and that glory, and it got ruined. And it wasn't just Eve doing it, it was man doing it as well. It was Adam. You know, this is the perfect representation how if Satan can immediately destroy a marriage and bring down a family, he's going to do it. He's going to find whatever it takes to bring the woman down, which will immediately weaken the man, because if a man truly loves his wife the way that he should, then whatever breaks down the woman is going to break down the man. And I know that Satan knows this. I experience it every day in my own life. First thing that will break me down immediately to my knees, literally flat in bed, are my daily migraines that I get, which by God's grace are getting better intensity-wise. Some days, though, are bad. But it breaks down my family, and it breaks down my husband, and it causes there to just be, weakness and sadness and everything. So God, not God, but the adversary, Satan